Welcome everyone and thank you for joining us on this exciting deep dive into another unbelievable story from the world of rare coins, where small pieces of metal transform into legendary treasures and ordinary pocket change can turn into life-changing fortune, and today we are exploring one of the most astonishing tales ever told in numismatics. The unbelievable rise of a 1981 cent coin that has been reported to reach a staggering value of $14 million, a coin that has stunned collectors, auction houses, historians and treasure hunters alike because of its peculiar combination of errors, mistakes, anomalies and mysterious production quirks, making it one of the most desirable and potentially priceless pieces of United States minting history. And as we begin this journey, I want to welcome all of you who love discovering hidden treasures, sharing high-value finds and exploring the astonishing world of coins where rarity meets mystery and mistakes turn into fortune. And today's story is packed with everything from minting errors to dramatic speculation, from unusual die issues to incredible survival circumstances, from overlooked details to thrilling possibilities that elevate this humble copper-coated coin into a mythical artifact worth a fortune beyond imagination. So get ready as we unravel this incredible phenomenon and uncover why this 1981 cent coin has been talked about as a $14 million marvel, why collectors chase it, why experts debate over its authenticity and rarity, and why every detail, every scratch, every misstrike and every oddity adds to an extraordinary narrative that has captured the attention of the entire numismatic community, because the story begins in the transition years of American coinage, where the shift from pure copper composition to copper-plated zinc was on the horizon but not yet executed, and the year 1980 remained firmly within the classic 95% copper alloy era, which means these coins carry a distinct feel, a heavier weight and a thickness that collectors instantly recognize. But even among these millions of regularly minted coins, something unusual slipped through, something so strange that no one noticed it at first, not even experienced collectors sorting through bags and rolls, because what sets this particular 1981 cent apart is not just one error, not just two, but a combination of multiple extremely rare minting mistakes that all happened at once, mistakes that are already valuable on their own but when combined create an astronomical rarity, beginning with the most talked about anomaly, the multi-strike off-center clash that appears on certain specimens rumored to be directly connected to the $14 million valuation, a clash that suggests the coin was struck by dies that were misaligned, possibly jammed, possibly faulty, possibly damaged during production, causing the iconic Lincoln profile to be distorted, stretched and overlapped in unusual patterns that numismatists rarely see, and surrounding that distorted portrait are marks that appear to come from a die rotation error where the die shifts mid-strike, causing duplication of the lettering in God We Trust, faint doubling around the numbers of the date, 1980, and an eerie shadowing effect around the word Liberty, all of which elevate this coin into the category of exceptional and nearly unexplainable mint mishaps. But the story does not end there, because collectors also note a peculiar anomaly in the coin's rim, with a partial collar strike that produced an uneven, almost ridged edge on one side of the coin, something extremely uncommon for cents of that era, suggesting the collar mechanism malfunctioned just as the planchet entered the striking chamber, and this malfunction not only affected the outer shape but also contributed to uneven pressure distribution across the coin's surface, which resulted in faint, almost ghost-like impressions that appear to bleed onto areas where no design should exist, producing layers of visual complexity that experts still debate today. And this complexity continues with the possibility of a transitional metal anomaly, because rumors and speculation among collectors suggest that a microscopic analysis of this legendary 1981 cent revealed a slightly unusual alloy mixture, perhaps due to contamination of copper stock, perhaps due to a rare experimental batch, perhaps due to leftover material from another minting project, and even the slightest deviation in alloy composition instantly increases the rarity of a coin, because it means that among billions produced, only a handful might contain that unique signature. But when combined with the error strikes, misalignment issues, rotational doubling and partial collar strike, this coin becomes a once-in-a-century phenomenon, the type of coin that collectors dream about, the type that auction rooms whisper about, the type that becomes a legend not because of what it was meant to be but because of what went wrong during its creation. And that idea, that mistakes can create miracles, is exactly what makes the story of this 1981 cent so captivating, because rare coins are not simply metal but artifacts of history that capture moments of human error, mechanical malfunction, Unexpected circumstances and astonishing survival through decades of circulation, and this particular coin, rumored to have been found in a forgotten inherited collection or tucked away in a jar of old forgotten change, immediately became the center of heated discussions, expert evaluations and high-stakes bidding interest, with some speculating that its combination of extreme errors could make it the most valuable Lincoln cent in existence, even exceeding high-profile auction records. And while the $14 million figure may sound unbelievable, those familiar with the world of rare coins know that when enough unique errors align and the survival condition remains surprisingly strong, astronomical valuations are not impossible, especially when the coin exhibits a mix of off-center strikes, double dies, rotated dies, misaligned dies, rim distortions, metal irregularities, ghost impressions, and multiple overlapping design anomalies all in one, creating a masterpiece of minting chaos. But what truly magnifies the value is the idea that this coin may be one of only one or two ever produced with this exact combination of rare events, making it a true one-of-a-kind artifact, and the possibility that only a single specimen exists transforms the coin into something beyond rarity and into the realm of unrepeatable historical accident, the kind of accident that minting machines today are engineered to prevent entirely, meaning such a coin could never be produced again, and that rarity alone drives its mythical valuation. But collectors also focus heavily on the coin's preservation because although it may show signs of circulation, many believe the unusual nature of its errors protected certain features from typical wear, making the coin surprisingly sharp in key areas where details like Lincoln's eye ridge, the curvature of his coat, and the inner folds around the bow tie remain unusually defined considering the chaos surrounding the rest of the design, a contrast that only deepens the fascination surrounding it. Because how could a coin with such violent minting anomalies survive decades without being heavily worn or damaged beyond recognition? And that question leads to more speculation about whether the coin may have been pulled from circulation early, perhaps noticed by someone long ago who didn't understand its value but kept it anyway because it looked different, perhaps stored in a box, envelope or drawer where it remained untouched for years. Or perhaps it was part of a roll that was never opened until decades later, and when that roll was finally searched by a treasure hunter or collector, the astonishing coin came to light, sparking excitement and disbelief as its unusual characteristics began to reveal themselves under magnification, and slowly, the numismatic world began piecing together its story, examining close-up images, analyzing the unique distortions, evaluating the possible minting sequence that could have produced such an extreme set of overlapping errors. And with each new observation the coin grew more mysterious because the deeper experts looked, the more anomalies they found, including tiny die chips near the date and under the motto, minute cracks in the die impressions around Lincoln's jawline, faint repunched marks that suggest the mint worker may have attempted to adjust the die position manually, which raises the possibility of human error adding to the mechanical chaos, and if human intervention played any role in this coin's creation, even unintentionally, that layer of historical narrative only increases its cultural significance. Because coins touched by unusual circumstances within the mint, whether intentional or accidental, often become prized artifacts that collectors fiercely compete for, and this coin's legendary status continues to evolve as new theories emerge, such as whether the coin was struck with an improperly annealed planchet, which could explain irregular texture patterns on the fields, or whether the blank was subject to pre-strike damage that caused the design to fill the recesses unevenly, or whether environmental factors inside the mint contributed to the coin's exceptional appearance, and each theory adds another chapter to the story, fueling curiosity and deepening appreciation for what is unquestionably one of the most extraordinary 1981-cent coins ever reported, and as collectors debate the possibility of a $14 million valuation, it becomes clear that the true value lies not simply in a number but in the story itself, a story of mechanical imperfection colliding with historical circumstance, a story of discovery, a story of hidden treasure.